Greetings and welcome back to SmartWatchTix.com. We're looking at a DTNo.1 watch today, the DT Ultra 3 Pro. Pro! It doesn't say Pro anywhere. Oh my gosh, did they send me the wrong one? No, they didn't. As you're going to see when you go to the website to download or to check out the watch, it's going to say the name in the box we sent is DT Ultra 3. Please understand, it's actually the Pro, and I'll tell you the difference between them in a moment. But I want you to know, it's available now at an insane price of about $40. If it's higher than that when you see this video and go over there, check my show notes for a coupon discount. We'll try to get you in the neighborhood of that same price, but it's an introductory price right now, and that is really, really good for a full AMOLED screen smartwatch in this case design with all the features that you're about to hear. First of all, let's open it up. You got a little smartwatch manual in here in a variety of languages, I guess. Tells you about the app download, some Bluetooth information, main functions, health, sports, basic functions, smartwatch faces. You seeing all this? I'm doing this so you can freeze frame it and read it if you need to, because a lot of times these manuals aren't available in a PDF or any other way if you lose yours. Are we down to this bottom one? Okay, FAQs. There. Don't want to take up too much time. This side's all Chinese. Now, in the box, you got the module itself. I'm learning how to do this, guys. We can pop this off and show you the features. Really sweet overall design. It's got a little cover on the screen, a film now, not the what you call it, screen protector per se, if you just take the film off like that. Really nice edge-to-edge screen. When we turn it on, you'll see that. You've got the rotating knob, the button here, basic microphone, speaker, and an extra button on that side. The bands slide in here, and speaking of which, there are two of them. You've got a choice, I think, on the website. In this case, I've got orange and a beige color. Different designs completely, but really high-quality bands. And then you got a 4-point charger that will sit on this in one direction. Two of the pins are for power, and the other two are for data. Why data? Because this has 4 gigabytes of memory inside of it to store videos, audio, all kinds of things. And the Pro portion of this is a special app store that they've added in here with a variety of apps. You'll see those in our long review that, this is a long review, that you can download and install, including Google Maps, which is great, and a few other things, a translator. Yeah, you're going to love that stuff. So let me put it together for you, and we'll give it a run through. So this watch is in the basic shape and configuration of the Apple Watch Ultra, with the little round knob here on the side, followed by a button below it. There's a little microphone hole here, and these are designer buttons, I believe. They're on both sides. Here we have a speaker and an extra button that will launch into your workout routines. Of course, the bands are removable, and they're the Apple-style bands. To activate this, we press it on the lower pill buttons shaped button, and we launch into a hello and the operating system, connecting Bluetooth to the phone right away. And this first watch face has the compass display on here, which is always a fun one. Notice it changes up here as well as on the compass down below. A lot of highlights in that face. Now, it's switched to an always-on face. This is one of the digital ones. It's very soft because it's meant to be basically for night, and you're always on time, date, and power level. When we double tap it now, I can bring it back into the overall watch face, and we'll go through some of these soon. When you swipe down, you get notifications sent from your phone if you have any. This is usually what you see when you swipe up on most smartwatches, but DTNo.1 with their operating system operates differently. When you slide off to the right, you get a transparent panel with time and date and basic messages, Bluetooth calling, and any recent apps that have come in. When you slide to the left, now you get into all of your sports history and more. You got all these buttons here that show you can go down and see your calories burned, steps taken, distance traveled, by hour, and then your sports history with exercise, heart rates, and so forth that are activated from the button on the side. All those are here. When you slide again, you get into heart rate. If you're covering the diodes on your wrist, your finger, or sometimes I use the fleshy part of the palm. We all have basically the same color skin here, so calibration of the watch, if it's not working over your arm with tattoos or different body colors, skin colors, you can try it here. Get the actual heart rate. It'll bounce around for a while. It'll vibrate until your measurement's complete. When you come up, you see your heart rate over the 24-hour period, and the low and the high, and the zone within an hour that it's taking it. If you have it off, as I have a little bit, I just now put it back on, you'll see there's gaps. So it's not going to be accidentally reading and giving you erroneous readings. There we go. Now I've got a more full reading for the one we just took. Now when you go down again, you've got something called static heart rate. And look, the zones are the same. I'm not quite sure what the differences are, other than that's red and this is white. Go down again, and now you've got a green display as well. So we're seeing some heart rate presentation in 3 different charts. Not sure what that is. If any of you know, let us know in the comments, and if I find out, I'll put it in there, either in the show notes or the comments for you as well. Blood oxygen now gives you a 15-second countdown as it gets ready to go. You want to make sure you have it on and you have it still. Now, it's going to be measuring, and you notice it's all green diode technology, no red diodes, which is unfortunate because generally the red and infrared diodes give you a bit more accurate readings. So, as with the heart rate, the blood pressure, blood oxygen, stress, any of the other things that these watches offer, you want to make sure that they are accurate by comparing them to calibrated devices that you may own. You know, the finger thing that does your blood oxygen and heart rate that you get from a drugstore? Check that against this before you start to rely on the readings on the watch. And even then, double check them if you think they're off a little bit. That's all you get is one instantaneous reading, but you see more in the app, of course. Come over again. Now we're into a music player. Now this has got 4 gigabytes of memory inside of it to hold music and video, and we got some music set up in here. You can change in the music player whether you're streaming from your phone or listening to it from the watch. Here's an example of what it sounds like. It's a good rich sound. Comes out of the speaker here, and you can, of course, go forward or backward, change the songs at your leisure if you want to. It's timing out on me relatively quickly. Here's another one, just to give you a sample. And, of course, you cover the speaker. You can mute it if you want to, and that'll be on the left-hand side of your watch. So if you're in a phone call or something, or you just need to be quiet, talk to somebody, you can cover it and pretty much mute it just like that. And of course, from the music player itself, you can stop it, which we get back into either here or here, right? And then one more, and now you get into your AI voice, which is basically your Google as Siri. You just click to activate it, say what you'd like, and hear the answer come back. Read it on the phone if you need to see the answer, and you got it. And one more, and you're back to the overall watch face. So you go around to the left, you go in a big circle, and you go to the right, you'll come back to the watch face. Pull out tab is what happens here, and it stops. So we've covered all of these things, the pull down, the left and the right, and when you swipe up now, you get into a whole list of things, each of which you have access to if you click on them, because they're the standalone apps as well. Date and time. Here's weather in your area when you have it connected and synced to your phone. Here's your last night's sleep information, supposedly. This is a world clock, and you set those up in the app. You can see the time wherever you are. You still have your active compass going. See that? And you can click on it and get into the real compass. And then a few of your most recent apps are here, and all apps is the same as pressing the button on the side. It'll get you over to those. So that's all available by swiping up. Now, the buttonology, the left-hand button, will give you your walking, running, and cycling. There's no GPS in this watch, but if you pair it with your phone, all right, I'll get up and walk right after this review, I promise. I've set that up in the app to notify if I haven't walked enough steps each hour, every hour, and it just now changed the hour. Great watch. Lots of good things you can do. A lot of different things you can get into here. And again, like I'm saying, there's no GPS directly in the watch, so you do need to take your phone with you if you want to have a GPS track. However, it's a very inexpensive watch, so that's really good. Okay, we are back here to the watch faces. Press the button once. I get into my app door, double tap it, and if I have any apps that I've opened, they'll be listed here and you can scroll through them. Press and hold on this one and you get into your AI voice, which we already got to by swiping through, but that's a quick shortcut to get into it. One tap gets you toggling between the watch face and your apps. In the app drawer now, which you can look at in a straight line like this in a list, or you can change to grid view and look at them this way, and change it down here. You have all of these things, a calling section with your recent calls, contacts, personal collection. That's your, your most recent or your personal contacts that you've put in the watch from the phone. Overall messages are here. And then we've got the App Store, which is really cool. We're going to go into this. This is really fun. Now, this is not an Android watch, right? And so you don't have the Google Play Store and you don't have access to the Google apps through the Google Play Store. But you do have access through the app market to some selected apps. These are the ones that are shown here on their website. They're showing a few more. They may be country restricted, I'm not sure. But I have access to the BBC News, ChatGPT, the app market itself, and you need to do an update when you get the watch for that. Google Maps, the real deal, and it really works with your phone to pull in the entire map of where you are with routing and everything. You've got weather and a translation app that you can download. I've put them all in here. We'll get to those when we get to that section. Messages sent from your phone, all that stuff is related to phone calling. Now, mindfulness, this is your breathe in, breathe out, relaxation. You can record a mental state. You can get started. Are you a bit happy? What are you? Oh, neither sad nor happy. Very happy. Happy, a bit happy. Anyway, things you can play with there. There's the meditation, 2-minute time. There's the breathing, okay? So you have these different ways of working with mindfulness, and it's actually called mindfulness there. Fitness recording, this is the sports history. If you've done workouts, they will appear here. Active, exercise, standing. New stuff, huh? Look at all of this. Lots of fun stuff to explore. Physical training now. This is what we push the button to get to. And this is your traditional physical workouts that we've seen before. Then your overall settings. Now, the watch has a bunch of settings. First of all, it's WT, that's me. And it's showing birth date and height and weight in pounds converted, I guess. And I mix these up all the time on these watches. Express them as female usually in case the watch does period tracking. And you register as a female, you'll see all of that stuff. Overall notifications here, the UE effect, we're in scale, but these are all different ways of moving between pages that will show you how they work. An overall general about the watch, named Smartwatch when you're pairing it. Sadly, a bunch of them are named Smartwatch, and if you're a watch aficionado and have more than one, it gets a bit confusing as to which one you're trying to load up. This is the model version 1.02.24, so they're starting to get version numbers of the software as well. You can set the time manually here, or it can pick it up from the phone when you pair it, and switch video. you can turn on or off the boot up or the shutdown video, so you can make things move faster. Remember when it said hello and went through its process right there? Those are selectable right on that part. Your overall do not disturb capability on and off, and that basically keeps it dark at night. And then display. Here we get into a bunch of stuff. Here's overall screen brightness switch. And I haven't figured out exactly what that one does. It's not a slider to change the brightness. So we'll leave it on for right now. Bedside lamp, turn that on. And if you have it in the charging mode, it will display a clock on it. If you have it turned off when you're charging, it won't. So now finally you have selection of that. Some people don't like it, and they got to turn their watch upside down or put a tissue over it or something to keep it dark. Clock style, we got that by rotating the crown, but of course you can press and hold and go into it, and there's a bunch of different ones you can get into. We'll switch to there. Now here's brightness again, and you see we have overall brightness control. Really, really dim. Very, very nice for that. And super bright. It's an AMOLED screen display, you know. So you have lots of range of capabilities. We'll keep it about there for the video. A, I believe, is for automatic. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Sometimes they'll have a sensor in these watches that will automatically adjust the brightness depending on the background lighting. And that I don't know the difference between brightness and screen brightness here. Anybody know that? Put it in the notes. Hopefully DTNo.1 can clarify it as well, and we'll give you an update textually in the show notes. Idle clock. This is your always on display if you have it activated, and there's several different ones. This is my favorite. Nice digital one. Gives me just what I need to know. You have other ones that look like this. There's a colorful digital one. And no is how you turn it off, so you're actually loading an always on idle clock that has no display, which is basically off. Those are the digitals. Another digital one. And then you got pointers, or the analog version. There's some blue ones, white ones. There's a colorful one with the date. This is a nice one with the marks all the way around the edge and the date as well as the time, and that's pointer 1. We've seen the digital, so I'll switch it to my next best favorite if I want the pointer kind, and that's there now. So that is the idle clock. Now your screen off is how long the screen will have the display on when you're using the watch, and time off, I got it set for 15 seconds. Notice you can say time out off. When you do that, it will never turn off. It's going to drain your battery, definitely. But if you don't need, lifetime battery, there we go. There's the 15 seconds and it went into that. If you don't need a long battery life and you don't worry about it timing out, you can leave that active. Double tap should turn it on, and there's the watch face that we switched to earlier, remember? Okay, so you can do all of that stuff. We are in settings, in display, in screen off and always on. You can set the always on settings. Now again, just to finish, the other one, we were setting it never to turn off the main screen. If you do that, then this will never activate because it only activates when the main screen goes off. However, if you do activate the always on screen, which you're looking at right there, you can set it to always be on, right? Or be on for 20 minutes and then turn off to black, or leave it off. So you can set the always on screen to none and it'll be black, or you can literally turn it off here and it won't be on. What's the difference? Well, it probably has to do with using the twist your wrist to see the time, the double tapping, little integrated nuances there you have to work with in order to make sure you got it right. So we're leaving it always at this point. And the always on time now can be all day, in which case it always is working, or a time display. You can start it at like 7 a.m. I've got, and 7 p.m. to go off. And outside of those times, it behaves as if it's off, not in none, but in off. And so it won't be activating at all. You with me? Okay. Setting wallpaper, you can have no wallpaper, you can do custom wallpaper. If you do, you can choose from these different pictures that are in here. And to me, it gets really cluttery. I'm going to say OK on that one. I'm going to come in here to the display. Now, all of your stuff will float over that wallpaper, or the grid view will show, I believe. Let's try that. Go all the way down. Grid view, yeah, will show over all of that as well. Back to list view. So that's an option for you if you want. Most of the time, it's easier to set it to black. But hey, you may have pictures of your kids or your pet or something like that that you'd like to have on here. Come back to no wallpaper and say OK, and now that's set it back to none. That's all in display your view mode now, list or grid, and we already showed you how you can do that directly from the app drawer. You can set your language for English, Chinese, French, Spanish. Okay, good. It's giving you in both English and the language what that language is, for those of us who don't even recognize the symbology of the language. Vietnamese, Turkey, Ukrainian is in here. Hebrew, I get a lot of requests from folks or questions. Does it have Hebrew? And yes, indeed, we've got Hebrew. Yep. Okay, so that's setting the language. Your volume vibration can be silent mode. You can do your control for how loud you want things. And vibration strength is here too. 1 being soft, 2 being about medium, and so forth. Now next we have something called screen lock password. We switch this on. We can create a number, and that will be the password that we'll need to access the phone. Or watch. They generally have this on here because if you're going to be doing any of the financial transaction stuff, you're going to want to make sure you don't lose your watch and have somebody have easy access to it. The SOS is where you have ability to set up the numbers to call each of these different services. Police, fire, ambulance, or just basic emergency contact of your family member or friend. This is where you set it up in the apps. Where you use it is going to show up when you press and hold the bottom button here. Give it a moment, no matter what mode you're in. Slide the SOS over, and there you'll get the listing, and you'll be able to place that call. I know, it's a bit complicated. Not something you're going to want to do much with if you're in a situation where you need immediate help. So you might want to use a siren instead. And there you go. It's vibrating, it's screaming, and that would definitely draw attention to you if you're in public and collapse, or if you feel threatened by somebody and want to make sure eyes are on you, you have that siren. And then, of course, you can reset and turn your watch off, and we just covered what happens when you press the bottom button for a long time. When you press it once, you get into some other stuff, which we will be talking about soon. Let's cancel out of here. And we are back over in our list of settings, right? So that's the SOS. USB mode now, remember, there's 4 gigabytes of storage. And the charger, what's that on my finger? Shame on you. The mass storage is accessible with the charger, with the 2 extra pins. There's 4 on there. And that's where you'll transfer music and videos and whatnot to your watch. Otherwise, put it on recharge, and then when you plug it in, it'll charge the watch. So you need to toggle between these depending on what you're planning on doing. Power save, just what it says. When you turn it on, you'll go into music will be disabled, Bluetooth turned off. It's going to basically save power, lower your screen to the same level as your always on display, and that's what it'll be like. Turn it off will immediately turn the power saving off. And then your system menu, your basic reset, siren, and SOS with the power off button, which is what you get when you long press on the side, right? Okay, that is everything in the overall settings. Whipping through the rest of it, you got basic countdown timers here. You've got a simple calendar. You tap on it, nothing happens. You scroll it up, and it'll change months. Okay. Not like a Google Calendar that's going to let you put appointments in there and see them. Just a quick check of what they got. And then you got a really fun looking stopwatch. Check this out. It runs like the old push button stopwatches. You have 3 dots, which means you can see it like this. You can slide it up and you can see it digitally with little rotating hands here as well. And up one more and you've got it just big, bright, and underlined. You can do lap time here. And of course you can stop it and start it back up. Now, can we leave it? We just left it. I'm going to go into calendar again just to show you. Come back out of here. Go back into stopwatch and check it out. It is running in the background. So really nice feature. Your stopwatch will continue to run and you can display it in any way you would like. You can stop it and you can reset it right there. Then you get your voice recorder and I can click it to record. We're now in the recording mode just to test out how this voice recorder is working to jot down a quick note. Stop it, play it, here you go.
We're now in the recording mode just to test out how this voice recorder is working to jot down a quick note.
Nice, clean, you've got it right there. And you should be able, hello, come out of here. You should be able to send those to your phone or your computer, whatever you'd like, once you connect it to the computer and go into the storage mode. Okay, we were at recorder, then you've got weather. I'm having trouble getting it to synchronize with weather. I'm not sure why with the app, but it's a beautiful weather app if you can. It's showing basic 32 degrees Fahrenheit in here. There's a way to change that. You can tap here and cycle through what the temperature feels like outside, the probability of rainfall, shows the wind direction and amount, and very high for sun protection. Your UV is in there. And this is kilometers, very good. I'm not sure what we're looking at there. There's humidity percent, AQI, excellent. And then we're back again. These are forecast days of information, basic information. And again, it works well if it's able to calibrate and update the information from the watch. If I get that working, we'll add it to the end of the video. That's the weather. Then you got a basic alarm clock settings that you can put in here. You've got photo, which is the pictures, the stock ones that they've put in the watch. And you could make actually a watch face out of these. You can upload these. You can download others into here if you want to. And this is where your photo displays are. The music player we already tried, but this is where you set things up. Your home looks like that. That's the music player we accessed. Music mode is where you can change it to stream from your phone, from your watch mode, or send it the signal to Bluetooth headsets that you pair to the watch so it won't be coming out of the speaker. And then your database is your listing of all of the songs that are installed, and they give you a lot of songs stock in here just to try. Some English ones and some Chinese ones as well. Overall sleep time, there's the chart, shows you, and here's the breakdown of your walking, REM, light, and deep sleep. There's another sleep time chart from last night. Is that it? I think that's it. Last 14 days. Wow. Alarms for getting up and going to sleep. So they've really beefed that sleep section up quite a bit. Heart rate we looked at, blood oxygen we looked at, camera sets your phone up to be a remote camera. Simple calculator is in here with nice decent digits and good size results. It works well. The overall compass, which you saw already in the watch face. And when you're walking around and you have it on your watch face, usually it'll stay calibrated. It's if it sits too long, it doesn't. Now, here we go. It's giving us a reading. Remember, I have several of my rings that have magnets in them, so the magnets will affect the compass. So if it doesn't look like it's reading right and I'm sitting in the north, it might be because I've got compass, my rings too close to it. But it works really well. This is information. It says it switches it to sort of a window look like this. That's time. This, I don't know. It seems like it should be a track back thing. So if you've laid down a track with your GPS coordinates, you would track it back. And maybe it is on a watch that has GPS in it. And this doesn't work. So these are two active buttons that are not working in this compass implementation on this watch. But check out some of the other reviews on DTNo.1 watches, especially the Android ones. And those may be active there. You find your phone. This is your video section. They got a couple of demo videos. You double tap and you can zoom in. Or is that flipping? Tap it once. Wow, can't even stop it. Okay, another video demo. This is interesting. I don't see a way to stop the video. Okay, well anyway, there you go. There's a simple video player and a couple of videos in there. You got a flashlight, lights the whole screen up. You can have it flicker white, solid white, or flicker red. And get out of here. NFC, this is where you can set up your different NFC cards with the internal NFC storage that'll work at that frequency. Your AI voice, we played with that already, showed you that. You got WeChat, QQ, Facebook, Twitter. I don't see X in here, Instagram. This is cute. This is a decibel monitor. It's monitoring the amount of sound around me. 50 decibels in quiet, and I'm talking to ping up around the 65 or so. You see how 80 is high here? If I do it, come on, don't time out on me. If I do it really loud and I can actually get it up into 80 and above, that may be hard on your hearing. So sorry if I bursted your eardrums. Here you go, little information about it as well. And that's something in here that you can use as you want to. I don't see anywhere where it's like recording the maximum or alarming you if it goes too high, but it is at least monitoring it there. These are tips, not what you leave a waiter, but little how to set up your watch properly and stuff. And then there's your wallet for all of these payment systems, which is why we need a password control on here. Ladies, your cycle tracking is in here, and the color-coded to tell you where you are on each day, and you can run through here. Also down below, it's telling you where you are, and you set that up in the app, sync it to the watch, and you'll see everything. There you can find a contact. There's your world time set. China, South Africa, India, you change these to your liking, and that again you set up in the phone app. Your contacts here are available. Lots of games in here, 2048, Snake, all of these, which is great. This is about the most I've seen on any watch, so you got plenty of games to play. Now, all the ones below game, these are the ones that were installed, if you recall, from up here at the very top in the App Store. And the App Store itself is the whole difference between the DT Ultra 3 and the 3 Pro. And you've got all of these different apps available. And I've installed them here. So we're going to go through them right now. But just a reminder, guys, if you have a box that looks like it says DT Ultra 3 without the Pro on it, don't freak out. Make sure after you open it up and turn the watch on and start checking it out, make sure it's got the App Store, pair it to the phone, and see if you've got all of these apps in here. Because if you do, it's definitely the Pro. Something happened in the printing of the box, apparently, or a stick-on label that was going to say Pro, and it didn't happen on the box. So if you've got the Pro, you'll have all of this. When you get it, the app market will need updating. It won't look like this. It won't have this featured app banner on the top. Make sure the first thing you do is update the app market. Bail out of the app, come back in, update it again if you need to, bail out, come back in, and then start the download of the apps that you want to actually use. Follow that procedure and you'll have a whole lot of better time than I did trying to figure out what the heck is wrong, why they weren't installing. But they will if you update that App Store app first. A lot like Google, you got to update their Play Store in order to get things to work. So here's the listing. I got them in different orders. We've got Google Maps first, BBC News. I got Weather, which is actually working, and a translation app, and then the Chat GPT. Now, to show you briefly how this works, I'm going to go into Map here, and it is locating me against Google Maps directly. Now, I'm going to position it so you can see more than my house and the property lines right here. So if you haven't figured out by now, I'm located on the island of Kauai in the state of Hawaii in the USA, and here is the edge of the island up toward the north. And just to show you how this can drill down, here's a Kilauea lighthouse. You can go back and go out. It'll give you a little gray thing until it downloads that segment of the map, and then you're a little further out, and you can zoom in and zoom in more. Zoom in more. I've done all these zoom ins offline so that the segments of map have been downloaded to the watch. So it's got some memory in it to hold segments of your zoom until you get all the way down and you can't go any closer and you get that level of detail. So it really works well. But there's more. You have a search function in here. Tap this, and you can access food, shopping, coffee, metro, or an actual search feature. So if you go in here, like I go to Coffee House, it's going to interrogate it and show me something called Java Kai. And there it is on the map in its location. You can swipe over here, see a different place, Waialua Bake Shop, and there it's location. And of course, you can go in and out and stuff like that as well. And some more. Here's another juice cafe and kava bar. You guys know what kava is, right? Come to Hawaii. You'll go back really happy. Anyway, there's all these different things you can do, as well as play with the maps, all with the Google Map. Now, remember, you haven't loaded up the Google Play Store. You haven't logged into your Google account. You have gone into a non-Android watch using an app store built in here to download the Google Map app, and it's fully integrated. This is the first. This is the Pro version of the DT Ultra 3 that is offering that feature for you, that you can actually have the Google Maps in here. Let's go on to a couple of the other things. Coming back down again, after maps, I got BBC News. You'll know what day it is by what's happening in Trump world, no doubt, because the headlines always seem to have something to do with the president. Hey, this time it doesn't. European leaders set to hold emergency meeting. Mother and child, they die from injuries. Well, that's unfortunate. People killed in New Delhi. BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation News is incorporated in here. And here's how it works. If we pick one, like Israeli hostages, it'll tap on it and tell you a little bit about it. Scan down, you got a QR code. Now, this is on your watch, right? You got your phone, you scan the QR code. On your phone, it'll take you right to the article, and you can read it in depth. So this is a way that you can, how do I back out of here? You can go into headlines, basically. There's media news, and then there's business. And so I knew we'd get Trump in here sometime. Uber, calling parents, Thomas Waters launches appeal, so forth. In any of these, same thing, you tap into it, you get a tiny description, and then you get the QR code. So that's how that works for BBC News on your wrist. Got to have your phone with you, got to be paired to it so that you can connect to the internet. Then the weather in your area, pop in here, shows you your location, the temperature, and you can change that to Fahrenheit or centigrade, I believe. Not sure because I have it set for Fahrenheit in the app. But again, this is a separate app being downloaded from the internet through the App Store. So other than using the phone to gateway to the internet, the information here is not coming through the app or the app settings. I haven't found a way to change the settings or to put in any other location, but it will show you the weather in your area. You got a translation in here, so you can go English to Chinese or change to any of the other languages that you'd like. Spanish we all pretty much know, at least this side of the world. So I'm in English, and I can say, what time is it in Nebraska? I don't know why I said that, but it's going to recognize what I said, hopefully. And Nebraska, que hora es in? And it says the same thing. Anyway, there you go. Translation built in directly to the watch. And then our all favorite ChatGPT. Have you seen what they're worth now? There's been bidding wars, right? With Elon Musk wanting to buy it or something like that. And it's in the billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. Oh, I wish I would have invented it. Can you tell me a really fun joke about smartwatches? It's recognizing what I'm saying. And here you go. It's generating through ChatGPT. I don't know which version. Sure, here's a fun joke about smartwatches. Smartwatches are like the latest fashion accessory that can do everything from checking your heart rate to telling time. One day, the smartwatch got caught in a cyber jungle trying to navigate its way out, but no worries, it managed to survive thanks to its unique features like augmented reality, voice control, and fitness tracking capabilities. So what makes a smartwatch truly fun? Well, it's not just about the tech features and about the stories of the characteristics that bring to life. For instance, oh gosh, it's going too fast for me. One man, another, read it to yourself then. Oh, what? But another one, it's wearable, but one that has a character of its own. Maybe it's a character from a children's book or a cartoon. This way, the joke can add a little humor and charm to your smartwatch experience. Wow. And thank goodness you can scroll back and read it slower if you need to. Obviously, if I'm not having to talk it and you're reading it on your wrist, whatever you're asking, it's going at a good pace, about 300 baud, for those of you old enough to remember the dial-up era when you had to put your phone on a cradle, your handset phone on a cradle to get an internet connection. 300 baud was about the speed you could read. So you're getting that right here from ChatGPT. You can hold and speak and do it again. It's really, really nice, like that implementation. Does not work standalone. There's no SIM card in here. You definitely have to have your phone with you and download it. So those so far are the apps that are available through the App Store on the DT Ultra 3 Pro. And that pretty much wraps up our overall tour of all of the apps on the phone. Now, new watch face I downloaded, animated. Fun little stuff. And of course, this is from the app, so that's where we go next. The app is Wear Pro. That's what the thumbnail looks like. Once you've downloaded it, installed it, you can open it. You can scan your device. It's really easy. You disconnect here, and then you can bind it. You can either scan for it, through Bluetooth, or you can use the QR code that you can find in the watch itself. Once you have it bound, I'm over on the device tab. It will actually open up here in the health tab. This will go green, a little circle will go around it when it's updating, and it'll show you all your information. Quick tour of this. We've shown this many, many times. You've got your step count throughout the day, your total distance, your calories burned, your target, and your walking target. If you stood up and walked 100 steps each hour, what hours have you done it will be shown there. Come down, you got games, news, tarot, star, stuff like here. Some ads are built into this app. I guess that's how they keep it updated. And then you get into your exercise records. Here you can go into things like outdoor hiking, shows you your time, pace, cadence, and so forth, heart rate, minimum heart rate. Those are the kind of information material you'll get. Cycling. I've done that too. Here we have the data that's presented to you when you're cycling as well. So those are in here. All courses, outdoor runs, indoor runs, you can execute those directly from the phone as well, tied to your watch. Then you get your overall health reports, manually or generated. You have to generate a health report based on your data, I presume. Weight, you fill that in on your own. Last night's sleep time, there's it broken down into your deep, light, REM, and awake. And sleep quality is estimated for you. Sleep duration, what percentage of time you spent in each of those, and an analysis. And then you got some more information on sleep that you can dive into. You've got heart rate. Blood pressure is not available on this watch. The readings here are from a watch in the past. So whatever watch you've got, if it has support for these different things, they will activate. Otherwise, they'll be on here. And you can actually, I'll show you at the end, you can edit and take them off the screen if you don't want them. But this one does do heart rate. There's the continuous heart rate from midnight forward. There's a little bit of yesterday, some spotty measurements, some time that was not being worn, just to show you what it looks like. The continuous heart rate monitoring, you turn it on here. You can have it from midnight to midnight, which means continuously. You can change the frequency all the way up to once an hour or once every 10 minutes. You save that, and now it'll be doing that on a regular basis. Blood pressure, again, this would be instantaneous measurements, but this watch doesn't support it. Blood oxygen, it does. And same thing, it's going to give you an instantaneous measurement, high, low. I've only done one, so that's what you're seeing there. Yesterday didn't even have any data on it, but it does support that. Ladies, menstrual cycle support, there's your calendar. You go in and you set your information here. This will automatically trigger in and track everything for you. And as you saw, the app on the watch, you can actually scroll through the days and see where the zones change back and forth. Edit the card, take out blood pressure, which was that one, I believe. Leave this thing. Oh, I took the wrong one out, right? Blood oxygen or something. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Well, it should have gone. I don't know. Edit the card. I didn't save it up here. Save is what you got to do. Okay, and now you notice it's gone. So since it doesn't support blood pressure, that's not on the display anymore. That's everything then on the health tab. Your exercise tab, here you can create these training plans. You can do all kinds of programs. I think you can download the app and open it and get into it even without a watch. I'm not sure if you have to pair it with a watch to activate this. If you can try that, check it out. You might be able to get into some of these different programs and run them even without the watch. But if you do need a watch, this is a great channel that you can pick them up. And the show notes list the buying link over for all these DTNo.1 smartwatches, and pick out whichever one you like the one we're doing today, the DT Ultra 3, right? Discover, this is another area of things you can discover. It's actually just filled with ads. Entertainment, overall discover, there's a plan, you can join a plan, dietary intake, drinking water, and so forth. And then the device. This is your device. It shows you a picture of it connected in a power level and when you can sync. You turn these things on through all your setup for incoming phone calls, text messages, and other app notifications. Your watch faces are here. You have a whole variety of new ones that you can get into. When you become a member, you can download all the different watch faces. These are pretty much the free ones that you get access to. That was the opening when we saw that. A bunch of them in here that you can download into the watch. And remember, this watch has 4 gigabytes of storage space, so it holds several different watch faces in addition to music and video and all sorts of other things. The fact that you can do Chat GPS, Google Maps, have a music player in the watch or streamed from your phone really sets this one apart. And price-wise, yeah, you can't beat it. AMOLED screen, always on-screen capability, it's great. The pointers, unique ones, business ones, practical ones, color, mechanical. These are categories, mind you. You go in here and then you have more of them. Cartoon, aerospace, simple ones, and then festive season ones. It looks like it's getting Halloween. That was a while back, but these are VIPs, so they charge you for these, but most of these are free. That's in the basic watch faces. Here's where you set up your incoming calls. You can toggle them on and off here. Network sharing. This is the button that needs to be turned on if you're going to do the downloading of the apps from the App Store. And that's what you're buying the Pro version of the DT Ultra 3 to do, because that's the main difference between the Basic and the Pro. This is sometimes tricky. Play with it. If you really can't get it to go, what I had to do was actually uninstall the app, reinstall the app, reacquire the watch, resync everything through Bluetooth, and then it stuck, and then I could get access to it again. It's a bit finicky. It's brand new technology with these guys, this network sharing concept, to move through the internet with an app store, to download apps that then can work with Google. Is a work in progress, but it's working. It's working well. You got your wallet here for all of your different payment systems. If you're using any of those, you can set them up. Contact sedentary reminders. Here's some info on how to actually transfer images using the charging wire, right? From your computer or phone, I guess. You can move images and you can convert videos so they'll work on the watch. All of that stuff is in here. You can find your watch and it makes a nice loud noise. And I found when you turn this off, it doesn't turn off on the watch. So if the watch is really lost somewhere, you have a chance to really hunt the thing down. Again, the speaker's on the side. You can mute it right here, but if you're looking for it, you're not going to mute it, right? Okay. So that works. Remote camera, alarm clock. There's your Bluetooth call and NFC for, you know, the, whatever you're using your NFC for. You can turn on and off these different things. Here's where you turn on the heart rate monitoring that we saw if you want to save it for continuous heart rate monitoring. Overall, do not disturb cycling time. You can turn this on, and you can set that up in the watch itself as well. And then, of course, you check for firmware update for the watch. Do that regularly because they're constantly improving and adding these things. I had to do that in order to get that App Store thing to first work as well. So always do your firmware updates. And if you can, do a complete factory restore and then start installing stuff in your device. That'll help make sure you don't have any problems. You got your own account you set up when you log in. There you can set your goals, steps, and sleep. You got your overall unit settings, metric and temperature, user's guide, feedback, and so forth. So what about this one? The DT Ultra 3 Pro is an amazing watch. It's got a lot of great features: animation, video, audio, built-in 4 gigabytes of memory for holding all of that kind of stuff, Bluetooth calling, nice loudspeaker, button on the side for all of your health transactions and whatnot, and of course your knobs here, and you could change your watch faces, you can get into all of your different apps, and you got the new App Store, which is just beginning to evolve. Expect to see more apps in the store in the future that this watch could be used for. And if you can actually pick this thing up for $40, that is a real steal. AMOLED screen and everything. I think this is in an introductory price. It may be going back up. If it does, check the show notes. I'll try to have a discount coupon for you to get close to that same $40. Otherwise, I would jump on it right away if I were you, because this is a really amazing watch for that kind of a price. Good solid battery on it. It's great. Very happy with this one. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. We got many more good things coming, and we'll see you again soon.